I'm gonna approach the next couple weeks kind of like a pastor in the sense that I got a sermon series, and my sermon is gonna be all about story. So we're gonna take a deep dive into story and really dissect it because it's such a buzzword. Everyone's always talking about story and story wins, but what is it, and how do we get better at it? We all know when we hear a good one, but how do we start telling better ones ourselves? There's rules behind story, and like all art, there's rules and principles that need to be followed in order for it to be good. People think art is about this creative freedom where you don't have to follow any rules. If that were true, and you sat down at a piano and you started plunking away, you sound like a 3-year-old. And I have a 3-year-old niece. She's cute as can be, but she's not good at piano. So don't be a 3-year-old. Learn the rules so you can start taking steps in the right direction. So I'm gonna start off by going through the 8 stages or principles of what makes a story. Now, full disclaimer, I'm gonna be stealing a lot from authors that I've read and just overall story experts, such as Robert McKee, Donald Miller, Matthew Dix. So none of these thoughts are original. Probably no thoughts I've ever had are original. There's nothing new under the sun. Now, a lot of this is from the book Storynomics by Robert McKee. So if you want to go take a deep dive, get that book. Robert McKee defines story as a dynamic escalation of conflict-driven events that cause meaningful change in a character's life. Story and conflict are a marriage. There has to be conflict for there to be story. So the 8 stages and principles of story design. Stage number 1 is identifying the target audience. And the principle is that you have to create a meaningful emotional effect on the audience. Ultimately, was the audience moved? To achieve this, enter in the characters. And the core character is, this is stage number 2, is establishing a subject matter. And the principle is that that subject matter, call it a person, their life is in balance. You know, there's good, there's bad, there's up, there's down, there's coffee, there's beers, there's whatever. But it's steady Eddie for the most part. Stage number 3 is where that balance is disturbed. The stage is the inciting event. And now the balance is no more. The core character is imbalanced, which leads to stage number 4, where the core character has a vision or establishes the object of their desire, which ties into the principle that will help them regain balance in their life. Stage number 5 is the first action that they take towards achieving their object of desire. It's where the rubber hits the road. It's a tactical choice and they go after it. Stage number 6 is the reaction to 5, where their expectations are violated and whatever they set out to achieve, they didn't achieve. And this is where positive charge goes to a negative charge, and they're further from where they even started in the beginning from the object of their desire. Which leads to stage number 7, and they have to make a critical choice whether they double down and go after it again, or if they give up. And I'll spoil alert, if they give up, it's a really bad story. If they say, you know what, that was hard, I'm gonna peace out. I'll just lay down and die. That's a bad story. Don't have your core character do that. So stage number 7 is where they make a choice to go pursue their goal once again. And then stage number 8 is the big closure, the reaction to the action that they took, and this time their expectations are met and they achieve their object of desire and their life is once again in balance. Now, for longer stories, the stages 5, 6, 7, they kind of keep going on, or 7 and 8, and then having one grand finale closure at the end. But the key is that there's a constant oscillation between positive and negative. They go for something, they think they're gonna get it, they don't get it. They get knocked back. They go for it again, there's doubt that they'll get it, but this time they get it. And it's a constant push and pull, give and take. So the 8 stages of story design, from a very high level, if you overlay this on any story, you'll start seeing these stages pop out. And there's an infinite amount of details that you can underlay on this design, and that's what makes stories really entertaining. And we'll get into all those other details later, but from a high level, this is the foundation of what makes a story a story. And subscribe, like, thank you for the hopefully one person watching this. Thank you. Sayonara.